What's up, YouTube? How you doing? Beer news, beer news, beer news. Beer news is back once again. It's the news about beers. My name is Andrew. I'm one of the people behind the Beer Guide. And every week, Thursday, 4 o'clock, I do the beer news. It's new beers across Alberta. It's a few events, some industry trends and happenings and what's not. And I'm warm. I've been ill the last few days. So apologies if I don't know, sound off. It's because I am. Anywho, I think I'm on the up and up. Yeah, let's get into some beer news. I thought I'd go to a classic. Can I say this is a classic? I think I can say this is a classic. The Blindman New England Pale Ale. I haven't had one in a while. It's brewed at the very end of March, so should still be very fresh. Purchase cold. I have to look at the dates. I just do. I'm not going to not look at the dates. For brewers who don't have dates on them, put dates on them. Trust me, it'll be better for your brand long term if you have dates on your beer. And not just like a best before, because some people put that like a year out. Just tell us when it was brewed. It'll cost you a bit of money to do some buybacks on some stores that maybe don't move your product. That's okay. But you'll have fresh product for people who want to try it. When someone's trying your product for the first time, they get some old-ass shit, they don't want to go back to it again, make sure it's good. Anyway, cheers. Here's my rant for the day. What's up, Sandy Lane? Polly in the house? That's still such a great beer. You've had a beer for so long, it's like always available, it's always around. You don't jump for it. And then I was like, man, I haven't had a Blindman beer for a while. So here I am with a Blindman beer. All right, let's get into it. Edmonton news, 4 minutes after the hour. Czech has a new pizza feature. It is their dry-cured pepperoni, jalapeños, Asiago cheese, and ancho hot honey. And I'm a big fan. I've had 2 slices of it already. It's the feature for the month of May, and goddamn, it's delicious. Alley Cat has a new drink. Yes, a new drink, not a new beer. That is lemon hard iced tea. I'm telling you, this is the summer of Alberta tea. Troubled Monk and Dog Island have been on it for a while, and industry trends are catching on, and people go, oh, we can make money off of tea also? So I hope they're all good. I want to do a tea battle. Losers get thrown into the Boston Harbor. Was that the joke last week? Analog has 3 new beer. They had a big patio launch and Cinco de Mayo party last week. So go to their tap room. You can try out their 3 new beer. GROGU'S Grapefruit GOSE. They've got YODA'S Wit and Wisdom. They've got WOOKIES and Cream, like cookies and cream. WOOKIES and Cream Nitro Stout. Tasty. I feel like I'm going to cough constantly. Excuse me. Goddamn. I haven't talked this much already since days and days ago. Woof. Beer might disappear quickly. Arcadia just brought back Whistling Pig Hazy Pale. Bell in Scona. I just thought I'd mention this. Because Bell in Scona, they're like the new brewery that took over the Polar Park space. But they're really quiet. Like they haven't said too much. They're brewing in-house now. But again, they're just kind of quiet. They're just existing. But I think they really need to boost some traffic in the late afternoon, the happy hour, if you will. So their daily features is 3 to 6, and they do half off food and drinks. That's insane. What's up, Boiling Ore? Hard Knocks in the house. What's up? By the way, if breweries outside of mostly the Edmonton, Calgary region can send me your new beers, like when you have news, like our new beer's coming out, just DM it to me. I'll add it to the mix. I just can't pull from 130 breweries every week. They are great down there. Hell yeah. Bent Stick has a new beer called Cheeks Out. It's a plum and apricot kettle sour. It's called Cheeks Out because both of those fruit reminisce the image of a buttocks. Slap a few in you. Blind Enthusiasm has a new beer coming out next week. It's called Galaxy and Saaz. It's a blend of their spontaneous beers from years 1, 2, 3, and 4. It is dry hopped with Australian Galaxy hops and Czech Saaz hops. This is available on May 16th. They're doing an event at the Monolith taproom from 5 till 10 p.m. Just so you know, their spontaneous program, they can only brew this spontaneous beer, as in they're not pitching yeast. They're pumping it into this big tank, and the cold air of the night, not too cold air, not too hot air, the wild yeast in the air is what is inoculating and fermenting that beer, along with the barrels they put them in. So they just celebrated their 100th batch of spontaneous beer. Random fact, I helped or got in the way during their, I believe it was brew number 4 ever. And that was a long time ago. I think that was 2018. So they are limited. There's only a certain temperature range of like daytime high and daytime low that they can actually produce these beers, because the yeast they get is ideal in a certain temperature range. Anyway, nerdy stuff. Go try their new beer. They win international awards again and again. No hard dogs. It's just I can't search a million, another 100 breweries every week. When you got a new beer, send it to me. And when I'm down there, I'll come visit again. I will. Irrational has a new beer called, it's Ocha. It's their experimental rice pseudo lager with grapefruit sencha and zest. So grapefruit sencha tea and grapefruit zest. It'll be bright, citrus, and delicate, floral, a patio crusher. Been inside all day, and I wish I was doing beer news outside right now. Long Roof has a new Pilsner, Pliny the Pilsner, a strong West Coast flair to this beer. I tried it. It's delicious. I approve. Beer guide stamp of approval. On Edge Brewing has a new beer. They haven't released a new beer in a while. It's called Sour Hour. Doesn't someone else have a Sour Hour? Growlery? Anyway, plum and cardamom flavors on their new sour. Neat. Omen, I just got to give props to Omen Brewing. I was able to pop in for a little bit on the weekend to see their Cinco de Mayo festival, and they had live wrestling in the parking lot, and it was exquisite. It was so much fun. Good food, good people, live music, all kinds of cool stuff. Plus, this was interesting. So everyone's doing Oilers specials. If you're in Edmonton, everywhere that sells liquor is like, buy blue and orange. It's just what they do. The Oilers go to playoffs, and the further they get, crazy shit happens. I don't care about most of it, but this one intrigues me. Omen, during Oilers games, because they are showing them, it's a bit of a vibe. Every time the Oilers score, their pint price goes down by 10%. And every time Vancouver scores, the pint price increases by 10%. So it'll never be more than regular price. They're not trying to take advantage of, the Oilers sucking. Or Vancouver doing really well. But I thought it was interesting. I thought it was really neat. So, fluctuations of games, they get up a couple points. You're like, oh, buy. And you just put 10 pints in front of you, right? Sell them to other people when the price goes up. No? Anyway, Super Amigos has their Mexican food on hand for those Oilers games as well. Polyrhythm is putting out a new hazy something tomorrow. Details TBD. Sea Change has a new beer called Siren, which is a sour IPA. It's loaded with tart citrus, white peach, and fresh guava flavors with zero fruit added. It's all from the hops, baby. Speaking of hazies and IPAs, I don't know. It's tasty. I really haven't had one in a very long time. Too long. Town Square has a new beer called Marlowe Cerveza. It is a Mexican lager available at Marlowe's Tacos, which is in Old Strathcona. And then just a reminder that the Trial and Ale tap room is Lore Pizza, Lore. They're on the west side. They're open 7 days a week, and they have a big-ass patio, too. So go there and eat pizza in the sunshine. And last but not least, for Edmonton news, Beer Revolution does a cask every Friday at 5 p.m. This week, Friday, May 10th, is 88 Brewing. That should be delicious. All right, let's get into the Calgary news at 10 minutes after the hour. What's popping? Oh, this is pretty neat. Annex Ales has a new beer debuting for their birthday on Saturday. It's called Showbiz Baby. It's a Berliner Weiss. So a true to style Berliner Weiss is fermented in wood because, 100 some years ago, all beer was fermented in wood, not steel. So it's fermented in oak foeders. They're using more wild yeast like Brettanomyces and Lactobacillus. And you get your choice of syrup in the taproom. So you can drink it straight up. It's like a session sour ale. Or you can ask for a variety of different syrups that they put into the beer. This is kind of the traditional way. A classic is Woodruff syrup or raspberry. It'll give your beer a very distinct flavor and color. They've also got a Rain Dog syrup, which is Saskatoon berries and long pepper. And then Slow Pour, which is pomegranate and rosemary. Now, this beer is available on Saturday at Annex for their big 7th birthday. They'll have birthday beers, which that's the birthday beer. They're launching orange soda. They'll have DJs, slushies, beers from the mini truck, $5 burgers from Little Empire, lots of cool stuff. It'll be a party. But if you can't wait until Saturday to try that beer, if you live in Calgary, go to Rain Dog. And if you live in Edmonton, go to Slow Pour because they will have that beer and they will have those syrups available. You can try it out. Delicious. Best of Kin has a new beer called Fire Bloom, which is a honey lager. It is made from fireweed honey. And my understanding is that when there's a forest fire, there's certain weeds that grow. And when you have different plants that grow, bees pollinate, produces different flavors in their honey. Boom, now you got it in a beer. Nature. What's my other trends for this summer, this year? This summer is going to be large format lagers and tea. We already talked about the tea. Born Brewing put out a new format the other week called Get Lucky, which is a premium style lager. It's a 12-pack of their 355 short cans of their very delicious lager. And again, as breweries grow, that's a segment that a lot of smaller breweries can't get into. You pay extra to have, the packaging, the boxes, the smaller cans. There's can adjustments, or maybe you have a contract brewed, label, artwork, all kinds of shit. But that is, if you look at the trends of where beer as an industry is going, the fastest growing market in beer is the premium lager and premium light lager sector. So these breweries that are doing well and growing know something. Also, Born Brewing has, what's it called? You know where Legend 7 was? They're in that location now. They're still in there. No, not Born. Sorry, that's beautiful. I don't know. Born must be contract brewing that because that's a big uptake for them to take it over and to package it and all those things. Anyway, I care about these things. Do you? What's up, Red Heart? I remember when you would do Berliner Weiss all the time with Woodruff syrup and whatnot. Big fan. Big fan. All right, back to the news. Unless Red Heart has something to say. Buffalo 9 Brewing in Calgary is opening very, very soon. Make sure you follow Buffalo 9 Brewing for their announcement. But they're in the final stages of the finishing touches. They've got murals on the wall. They've got furniture in place. That usually means you're getting very close to opening. I think inspections are this week or next week. Coming up quick. Burn Block Social has a new beer called Hitch a Ride, which is a Hefeweizen. You'll get notes of pleasant balance notes of banana, clove, and vanilla from a classic German yeast. More Hefeweizen, please. I like Hefeweizen. It's a great beer. For those of you watching and feel like contributing to a conversation, is there a certain style of beer that once the sun comes out, sunglasses, shorts, patios, that you're like, that's what I'm drinking now? Or do you just always drink the same shit? Let me know. Cabin Brewing has a new beer called Yardarm, which is a session IPA. It is available at Wine and Beyond and, of course, the Cabin Taproom. You'll get huge, dank hop slaps of the citrus and tropical variety. Yum. Apparently, it's their first time making a session IPA. Now, what's the difference between a pale ale and a session IPA? Any beer can be a session beer if you drink enough of them in a session. Citizen Brewing brought back Cittadino, which is an Italian Pilsner, and Cittadino means citizen. So you can drink a citizen. Their weekend food feature is Nashville chicken sliders, and they look great. Cold Garden does their Crafty Mondays on May 13th. You can decorate candles. Lovely. Dandy Ales, they'll be selling Dandy Fest tickets soon, starting June 1st. That is their September 7th big event. Fans, art, a bunch of breweries, 20 plus breweries, food, all kinds of crazy stuff. Excuse me. The joys of drinking a beer while delivering the news. 88 has a new beer called Pop Rocks, which is a pink guava sour with berries. They used a hazy base. It gives a bit of a soft tartness, but you'll get big and juicy flavors from pink guava, blackberry, and raspberry. Yum. Establishment did the March Radness tournament instead of March Madness, the big basketball tournament. They had the people choose between 12 different white cans, which are their limited release double IPA beers. And the winner was Float Along, which is an Imperial Hazy IPA. I believe that was one of the first ones, if I'm correct. I can't remember, but pretty sure it was one of the first ones. Float Along. It's like Five Alive. It's soft. It's dank. You'll love it. Of course you'll love it. The people picked. A lot of breweries had not much to report on this week because Cinco de Mayo was like, Cinco de Mayo. And then some breweries don't do things. But New Level, their patio is officially open for day drinking. If you're wondering, you're like, it's nice out. I'm not going to work. I'm going to go drink beers. I'm working on a patio. They're open Tuesday through Sunday, starting at noon. And they've got new tables. If you didn't like the old New Level tables, now they're on a new level. Yes. Prairie Dog is now hiring a line cook. They pay, they do pay living wage. In Calgary, it's like low 20s the living wage. Anyway, they're 23 to 25 bucks an hour. If you're an experienced line cook, Prairie Dog is a good company to work with. Stony Slope. Okay, everyone's got deals. They're like, if your traffic to your tap room is slow on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Monday or a Thursday, you incentivize. You go, hey, here's an event. We're doing comedy. We're doing trivia. Beers are 10% less when people on ice skates score goals, right? I'm not reporting all that because I don't care about most of those deals. But when they're exciting and different and unique, or I'm just feeling it, then I will. And Stony Slope, every Thursday, they do pierogies and a pint for 20 bucks. And that just screams, so Albertan. I love it. I also bought pierogies the other day, and I need to cook them up and do it proper. So I haven't had that in years. Tool Shed has a new beer, part of their small batch series, released only in the tap room. It is Raspberry Cloud, which is a fruited wheat beer. You can guess what it's fruited with. Their weekly feature is beer brat on a bun, house mustard, Kewpie mayo, crispy onions. Oh, sounds great. Big fan of brat on a bun. Two Pillars has a new beer called Canelli. This is a collaboration with Bridgeland Distillery, and it is a Moscato Brandy Saison. It's something I've never seen before and would love to get my little pincers on. I don't think Two Pillars sends their small beers very far. They brew like 30 liters at a time, or 50 liters at a time. 100 liters at a time? Might be 50 liters at a time for the small batches. Wild Winds Brewing. They're doing a neat event this weekend. They've got a 2-tap takeover at Village Brewery. So they had their double award winning. Each beer's won double awards. Their Zephyr Table Saison and their Windflower Belgian Blonde. Those will both be on tap at Village Brewery this weekend. They'll be celebrating 6 years since Jen's first beer debuted. And it also marks her journey as she embarks to open up her own brewery and tap room. They were sharing the floor plans of the space. They need a little bit of a tweaking right now. You can see where the brewery is and the tap room and this and that, and it looks pretty cool. And last but not least, in Calgary news, Zero Issue has 2 new beer. They launched on the weekend for Cinco de Mayo, for May the 4th, Star Wars Day. Porkins Citrus Sour. The word pork in a beer sounds weird. There's no pork in it, don't worry. It's a lemon, lime, grapefruit, tangerine, and orange citrus sour beer. The name Porkins is taken from Piggy. He was a seasoned Rebel Alliance X-Wing pilot in, I don't know my Star Wars movies that well. Is that 6? Episode 6? X-Wing blowing up Death Star battle? You tell me. They also released, I don't even know what this number is. It's Z1778, which is their Imperial Tri-Berry Sour. So based on their twin ions, or the TI, the TIE fighters, that took out Piggy. Battle of the sides. Anyway, raspberry, blackberry, blueberry. Sounds great. Alberta-wide news. 23 minutes after the hour. We're drinking a Blindman beer. I got to announce, a Blindman is doing a big patio launch party this weekend, Saturday, May the 11th, from noon till 10 p.m. They'll have outdoor games. They'll have a special cask. They'll have $5 Dream Machine. That's their Mexican cerveza pints. They'll have live music. It'll be a party. Just go to Lacombe. Have a good time. And go to Cilantro and Chive. Also have a good time. And last but not least, Troubled Monk has, again, I'm not big on reporting on specials, but Thursdays at Troubled Monk, they do buckets of Daycation lager. And I remember Brewsters back in the day would do buckets of their lager back when it was in a glass bottle. And there's something about it. It was more of like a late summer, late night thing. You're out and about and you're wandering around. And you're like, let's do one more beer, which means you probably don't need one more beer, but you're like, fuck it, let's get a bucket. Anyway, they got 5 times, short cans, comes in a bucket, $24. I hope they're putting some ice in there too. I'm sure they will. Anyway, there's something about having a bucket of beer that's just summertime to me. I'm wearing shorts right now. Can't wait to be in the sunshine. Thanks for tuning into Beer News. We do this every Thursday. We is me. Every Thursday, 4 o'clock, live on Instagram and YouTube. We'll catch you next time. Ta-ta! Hey, YouTube, you're adorable.